We're going to create this sort of parallax effect that's become really common in illustrations at the beginning and ending credits of movies. The most time-consuming part of this effect is cutting out the subject from the background. What I did is open the image in Photoshop, manually cut out the car, and then export each layer from Photoshop and import it back into After Effects. You can use the auto subject detect in Photoshop, and it works really well a lot of the time, just not all the time. Like, for example, it had a hard time distinguishing between the sky and the top of the roof in this image. So we're going to be zooming out of both the car and the background, plus moving the car a little bit just to make sure the effect is apparent. So let's start with the background zoomed in. Go to scale, and then you get a nice little keyframe on both. And we're going to take the backdrop and we're going to zoom it in. Whoops, just select the backdrop. We're going to zoom it in to about right there. And then we're going to go to the end of our timeline and we're going to move it back to just about the original position. That should be about fine. So when you press play, you'll see that the backdrop is moving quite a bit. Now it's time to move and scale the car. So select your car and zoom it on in quite a bit so that nothing in the cutout is showing. And then we also want to make sure, hit position when we move it, that we create a keyframe by clicking the stopwatch. And go ahead and move that, and you'll see you want to maneuver it enough that that shadow, not shadow, but a cutout is not showing. That's about good. Now let's fast forward to the end, and we're going to have to move it both to the left, so it looks like it's going forward, and then also go back to scale and zoom it out. Right about there is fine, as long as it's covering the old cutout. There we go, and press play. And there's your parallax type effect.